Diddy doc.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
This is the type of indictment you would expect from someone in mafia.
They start making this case, in my opinion, as a takedown of a successful black man.
Peep the drill. I'm not gonna cap. Say what you want about Diddy, but he had that shit on. Nigga, those black roses, nigga. Hold on. Whose dog is this? Alright, I don't give a fuck no more. It's some rich people.
Takedown of a successful black man.
The freak-off sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers.
I've spoken to about half a dozen of these different men involved, and I asked them, was there any indicia of lack of consent? And they said, absolutely not.
And they seized cases and cases.
And they said, absolutely not.
Imagine how freaky the freak off gotta be when you gotta pull up in an armored truck, my nigga. Like, what the and look at his nosy ass. I don't even think he a part of no camera crew. No, well, he probably has to be because he in front of the yellow tape. No, he's behind the yellow tape. He in front of the yellow tape. Oh wait, if you're behind the yellow tape, does that mean you're involved in the crime scene, like you're looking over it, or is behind the yellow tape like, oh, you gotta stay out? Either way, this motherfucker ain't part of no crew. I thought he was, but he wasn't, because the police officer over there with the yellow tape, so he's in this shit. He's just being nosy outside with some knee braces on. Go in the house, nigga.
And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
How do you explain 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
He has a big house he buys in bulk. You know, I think they have Costco's in every place where he has a home. Have you sat in a parking lot of a Costco and see what people walk out
He's
of
the worst lawyer ever.
Of baby oil.
The worst lawyer.
When I saw the video with Cassie running for her life, I cried my eyes out.
I'm going to show that video over and over and over about what happens to women that won't change their stories.
Combs did not do this all on his own.
If there are higher up people that are still famous right now that are on these videos, Hollywood is going to just implode. Still famous right now.
It's them niggas right there.
Now that
them niggas right there at the bottom
are on these videos.
Them niggas right there at the top.
Videos, Hollywood is going to just implode.
Does this compel
That's who I was on these videos. And politicians.
You to put him on the stand?
I don't know that I could keep him off the stand. I think he is very eager to tell his story.
We have obtained video of Diddy's arrest on Monday night. And I have to say, he was blindsided.
Sean Diddy Combs was taken into federal custody in New York. This according to TMZ.
We're told it happened in a Midtown Manhattan hotel where Combs had been staying, and according to sources talking to TMZ, this actually came a day earlier than originally expected.
The world-famous Sean Diddy Combs is expected to be arraigned on federal charges this morning following a grand jury indictment.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
Diddy, among other things, he has been accused of sex trafficking, engaging in a conspiracy to foster prostitution, racketeering, kidnapping, narcotics offenses, arson, bribery. That is the beginning.
The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses.
The indictment alleged some of Combs' employees helped set up freak-offs in which women were forced into sex acts with male prostitutes.
And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
Prosecutors now say when this notorious video was taken, Cassie was actually fleeing a wild freak-off.
I mean, this has gotten very, very scary. Hollywood's in trouble. Hip-hop and R&B is in trouble.
Sean Diddy Combs has pleaded not guilty to several federal charges. We are learning in just the last few minutes that federal Diddy Combs...
Hollywood...
What if you saw him in the video at the freak-offs? You think Stephen A. Smith was there? Not saying that he was. I'm just saying, what if he was there? he more than likely, excuse me, he more than likely wasn't there because he's speaking out on it. I'm pretty sure the people who were there, you know how everybody's like going crickets. Pretty sure them motherfuckers were there. Shit, wow.
In trouble. Hip hop and R&B is in trouble.
Sean Diddy Combs has pleaded not guilty to several federal charges.
And she fine as hell.
We are learning in just the last few minutes that a federal judge is now refusing to grant Sean Diddy Combs bail.
He is going to be behind bars until his trial begins, whenever that is.
Sean Combs really fought to stay out of this place where his attorney called conditions horrific, but the judge sent him back, finding Diddy a danger to women.
We're appealing the decision to hold him without bail.
TMZ is also reporting Diddy was placed on suicide watch at the detention center that he's being held at in New York.
Your reaction to this really stunning indictment?
I'm very surprised, Harvey, that you say you're stunned. What, you need another decade?
I don't like her. I don't know what it is about. I guess it's just the way her lip pucker when she talks shit. Her attitude towards things. Maybe because her name is Nancy. I don't know. I don't fuck with her, bro. The hair look like Jimmy Neutron mom.
Of Sean, aka Puffy. So you're stunned. What, you need another decade of Sean, aka Puffy, aka Diddy, aka Love Combs, brutalizing women, stunning?
I don't like how he licked his lip like that.
Long.
Diddy has dodged a lot of legal bullets in the past. Does this one feel different to you?
It does. This one feels different. As you know, Harvey, you don't have the feds raid your homes unless they have something of substance, something significant.
Federal law enforcement agents have raided properties owned by musician and producer Sean Diddy Combs.
There's got to be something there in order for them to put themselves in a position with someone who is so powerful, who can retaliate, who has the authority and the means to be able to fight cases. To put yourself in that position, there must be something there.
Let's switch our focus to the government. In my opinion, I'm just going to say it the way it is. No friend historically of the successful black man. Okay, none. And they start making this case, in my opinion, as a takedown of a successful.
He look like he don't know what the fuck he doing. And obviously he's not just an ain't shit lawyer. Like he's up there to the point where celebrities are paying for his services. I don't want to know how he got there because this is the only thing I know about him specifically as far as this case. Because I ain't gonna cap, I feel like he made it worse for Diddy than going through all these interviews, especially with TMZ. Like if I was ever in not this situation, but if I was ever in a situation to where it's the downfall of my career and it's me spending life in prison, I would want to have a lawyer that don't say shit, don't talk to nobody, don't do any interviews. The only time I want you to speak is in court to that judge and that jury. Stop talking to everybody else about me. That's all I'm saying.
Black man.
I think what is interesting and what was surprising to me was when I read the indictment, I dissected the indictment, and I looked at count 2, which is the sex trafficking count, the sex trafficking by force, coercion, and fraud. It only names one victim.
Hey, Cassie, how are you? How do you feel about all the allegations with Diddy going on right now?
And I believe that's Cassie, his longtime girlfriend. It only names that one victim, where there's so many women who've come forth with civil claims, looking for money, making allegations against them now. There's only one named victim in that count, and that's the count that everyone seems to be talking about, that he's involved in sex trafficking and he's using force and coercion. It's one named victim in that count, and that's surprising to me considering the amount of alleged victims there are in this case.
Do you think the fact that your client is a very big celebrity played a part in the Fed's decision to indict him?
I think it played the biggest part. I think it played a prominent part. I think that if he's not a big celebrity, he's just going about his life, without interference from the U.S. government.
Even though a lot of people now claim that they basically had knowledge of this, and it certainly was whispered about prior to it becoming common.
Why the fuck is he here? Why is he being talked to? I never thought I would see Adam 22 in a Diddy documentary. Never thought.
claim that they basically had knowledge of this, and it certainly was whispered about prior to it becoming common knowledge. I do think that it's probably one of the most seismic events in the history of hip-hop.
I have never read 14 pages that contained so much shocking information and allegations.
1, 2, 3. This is the type of indictment you would expect from someone in the mafia, not somebody who runs a clothing line.
Matter of fact, you can call me Sean John.
An alcohol brand.
Let's be clear. Ciroc is for
Sean John.
An alcohol.
You think Salt Bae was at the Diddy party? I can see him getting freaky nasty. Taking the baby oil and squeezing it on the bitch, hitting it from the back like that. Get some bath salt for the jacuzzi and sprinkling that bitch in there on the bitches. I can see him doing that.
Brand.
Let's be clear. Ciroc is for the culture.
Someone who was at the top of the hip hop world.
What y'all wanna do? Wanna be ballers, shot callers, brawlers.
To hear charges of transportation, of prostitution, sex trafficking, it was pretty astonishing.
You know, you mentioned the mafia. The mafia tends to operate underground. Diddy operated way above ground for 16 years, according to the feds. And there were maybe whispers about this, but none of this came to light.
The reality is, Diddy has had run-ins with the law several times, and it seems he always has gotten away with it. So this was really just a build-up. He was, of course, going to operate in plain sight because nothing ever happens to him until now.
I guess I'd say America loves a story of a good rise. America loves a story of a huge fall. And this is certainly up there, you know, with any that we've seen. But, you know, I certainly didn't have any of this stuff on my bingo card. Covering Puffy for, you know, over a decade. There's a lot you can say about the guy, but, you know, this stuff just didn't come up in my reporting. And I think it took all of us by surprise.
Am I surprised by the allegations? No. These are rumors that have been floating around the industry for decades now. You know, some people have seen them firsthand, some people have just heard about them, you know, directly, but many of us who've been...
Why does shit drip out his mouth like that? Like, is it coming from his head down his face, or did it just come from his mouth?
Allegations? No. These are rumors that have been floating around the industry for decades now. You know, some people have seen them firsthand, some people have just heard about them.
Okay, from his head down, but it's just... I don't know that. Yeah, fuck it.
You know, directly, but many of us who've been in the music industry or music industry adjacent have been aware of Puff's behavior for many years.
Freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
They called them freak-offs. But, you know, back when I was a kid in the late 70s, they were called threesomes. This was, you know, with the woman that...
So I don't like this nigga. These are orgies, my nigga. This ain't no threesome. Oh, let me get off the titties. My goodness. This ain't no freaking threesome, bro. It's freaking orgies. These are sex parties. These are get-togethers that last for days. Like, you know how much Viagra a nigga gotta take to stay rock hard. You know the amount of drugs that were probably at these parties to keep people wired enough to stay up and like, come on, bro. Dude had to take an IV in his arm because after the whole shebang dang, he'd be so dehydrated he need fluid. This ain't no just regular threesome. I don't like this nigga.
Back when I was a kid in the late 70s, they were called threesomes. This was, you know, with the woman that was his woman at the time.
Cassie, over here, please.
And allegedly a third person. I've spoken to about half a dozen of these different men involved, and I asked them, was there any indicia of lack of consent? And they said, absolutely not. We would never have gone forward a single step had it seemed like anybody in that room was not consenting. Was anyone high, too high? Was anyone drunk? No one was too high, no one was too drunk.
If these are genuinely threesomes, how do you explain 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
I don't know where the number 1,000 came.
The U.S. attorney said it.
I can't imagine it's thousands. I mean, you know, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
From what I was told, it was actually 600 to 700 bottles. They just rounded it up to 1,000, but at the same time, why you got that much baby oil, my nigga? Crazy work.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I don't know what you need 1,000.
Why do you need 1,000? Because it's week-long fests with Viagra and dry bodies that you need moisturized to slip and slide on, and that's why you need 1,000. Get grief. Imagine from sun up to sundown, just getting butt booty hole naked, just smashing all day. You gonna get dry. They probably had outdoor events. Y'all ain't seen that big bed that Diddy had, that big ass bed. They probably all over that bed. In the night sky, wind blowing, dry as hell. You need baby girl squeezing on Salt Bay over here with the oil like that, trying to moisturize a girl to get the Goonies. Like, come on, bro. Yeah, you need 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Sun up, sun down for a week straight. Crazy.
1,000 for it. I mean, he has a big house. He buys in bulk. You know, I think they have Costco's in every place where he has a home. I mean, have you sat in a parking lot of a Costco and see what people walk out of there with?
Not 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
I don't think it was 1,000. I think it was. Let's just say it's a lot. Okay.
The U.S. attorney has said that the freak-off parties are going to be the core of this case. I've covered a lot of cases in my day. I cannot think of a single one that is more salacious than United States versus Sean Combs. I cannot think of anything that even comes close.
I can't either. And, you know, again, if we start hearing the details of what went down at these parties, I mean, I remember back in the day the allure of a Diddy white party.
All the motherfuckers were drenched in baby oil, especially motherfuckers here swinging like damn chimpanzees over water.
You gonna hear about my party? They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me.
The allure.
Them niggas coked up right now.
You gonna hear about my party? They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things.
Everyone wanted to be there. It was so secretive. And to know that these parties will be on Front Street, we are gonna hear what happens, not just at these parties, but obviously these after parties. I kind of am hoping to hear the details, even as terrible and sordid as it may be, because it's astonishing that these things could be happening right under.
Cause you horny.
Noses. Very famous people.
Cause you horny.
You don't have what they need.
Astonishing that these things could be
Cause
happening.
Diddy horny.
Right
I want to point at Diddy. Cause you horny. You wish you was there.
Underneath people's noses. Very famous people.
If you don't have what they need.
Just an educated guess.
They're gonna leave. Right. Gotta keep them there. Right. You need locks on the doors.
Hey, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning. Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol. It also affects, like, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
Did you ever see any of that in the parties that you...
Look at that mischievous grin. That boy is a freaky gooner. You know, ooh, nah. I was gonna say something crazy. Never mind.
You threw or he threw. Did you ever get any sense of that kind of eventually evolving?
My spidey senses were always on high alert. And I know that there's no safety after a certain hour when you've got drinks flowing and people behind your back doing drugs in bathrooms, 2 and 3 people walking out of a bathroom together. There's no safety in that. So could there potentially be? Absolutely. Did I see it? No, because I never stayed at a party late enough to see it.
Did you sense it?
Did I sense that there could be trouble? There could be trouble riding on the subway. Yes, I sensed it.
I hate when people... I'm not saying that she lying, but it's just not even with this situation, just in general, when somebody, like say a classmate y'all went to school with, you online, you on Facebook or some shit, and then you see their mug shot up for doing some creep ass shit, like diddling kids or whatever, right? And then you'll see the comment sections, oh, I always knew he was a little weirdo. Nigga, you be the one that used to hang out with him. And you calling him a weirdo. Birds of a feather flock together. What that make you? Like, what are we talking about? Or people who don't even really know the people for real saying some shit like, oh, I always felt the way I felt like something was off. Oh, my senses. If your senses was that great, half of the mistakes y'all be doing wouldn't have fucking happened because your spidey senses would have been blurring like a motherfucker. Only blurs for other people, not you. Fuck out of here.
Yes.
There's no way out for Diddy on this. I'm just telling you, there's no way out. All he's going to be able to do now is whine about his jail. He might get into better jail. He's going to whine about his tuna fish sandwich and his bunk and his naughty roommate. Have fun with that, Diddy.
I don't like this woman. I think it's because when she did that interview with 2 Chainz. Hold on, let me look that up real quick. When she did that interview with 2 Chainz. What's up, fucking goofy ass name again? Nancy Grace. Yeah, it is.
What I'm trying to say to you is that if this is legalized, then everybody is going to have unlimited access to pot. And unlike other people that are responsible, irresponsible child abusers are going to have free access.
I'm not sure if you know, but everybody has the ability to get their hands on pot right now, whether it's legal or not. I just feel like if you legalize this particular drug, it could cut out certain things in the criminal justice system, as far as the overcrowding of prisons, as far as putting us on our criminal record to prevent us from getting loans, prevent us from getting homes. Just the whole thing around recreational weed is not making any sense to me.
If you want to qualify for a home, then why don't you just not smoke pot? Why don't you just not get arrested?
We're in a deficit right now. We got to try to find ways on getting out.
Now, I know you don't want to see this because it's not fitting with your argument, all right? And what you're saying is not fitting with my argument, all right? Liz, show him.
You want to? I feel like he just want to hook that bitch.
Giving the 2-year-old daughter pot and letting the kid smoke pot. Okay, everybody is not responsible, 2 Chainz. Everybody shouldn't have free access.
And this is why I don't like it, because it's like, oh my gosh, alcohol is legal. Not everybody is responsible with alcohol, but that's legal. It don't matter if you legalize weed or not. They're still gonna be irresponsible with the shit, whether it's legal or not. Hell, alcohol is crazy with murdering people on the fucking street with DUIs and alcohol poisoning and all this other shit. Like, I don't like this bitch. I'm sorry. Let's get back to the doc, the Diddy doc.
Tuna fish sandwich and his bunk and his naughty roommate. Have fun with that, Diddy.
Good, man. Here's a man who has made some of the most important businesses owned by a black man. Run, owned, created, founded. The vision was that of a black man. What have we done? We have reduced him, not everyone, but a large amount of our society, to being a monster. That should make us shake in our boots.
Down here at Pura Vida by my pad, run into the man right here. What's up?
He was at the Diddy party.
Here at Pura Vida by my pad, run into the man right here.
He was there. He looked like a freak bull.
What's up?
The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
This is the government scrutinizing his businesses are fine. Scrutinizing the taxes, he pays his taxes. He does everything right. What's the last vestige? We're gonna go into his bedroom. We're gonna go into his bedroom because maybe we don't like the way he's having sex.
Diddy, come on, hook us up, hook a brother up.
I really wanted to get somebody who is just all over this genre. And I want to talk to you about the whispers. Because according to prosecutors, this has been going on for 16 years at least. And yet nothing surfaced publicly until Cassie. So what were the whispers over the years? What were people saying?
I probably gotta block this out for damn YouTube, even though this is on YouTube. But you know how motherfuckers be on my shit. So fuck it.
There was a lot of talk of parties or Diddy parties as they're kind of known now. It was always sort of known that if you went to a party at Puff's house and were you to stay past certain hours, that you might be introduced to some sort of, massive orgy. Or there was just a lot of whispers about what it might have consisted of.
This is about we, this is motherfucking bad boys, bitch. We love everybody.
Certainly, I don't think that it was common knowledge that there was so much non-consensual stuff going on or any of the seedier allegations, but it was definitely discussed.
Years ago, Diddy was on Ellen DeGeneres' talk show, and she even joked about that.
I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party.
Uh-huh.
It'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 2, 3 o'clock. And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, he was telling us the whole time, like, we get freaky at these parties, bro. He's been saying we get freaky at these parties. That's why people wanted to go. Like, he was literally, like, dropping little tidbits. We get freaky at these parties. We got the top 2 floors. Like, it's right there.
No, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
How you know about it, Mella?
No, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them. I'll listen to the music. I've heard that song after party.
The music, yeah.
No,
yeah.
I think everybody knew
Told us in the bars,
Diddy
too.
was a highly sexual individual and that he certainly was a fan of drugs in general.
How could this go under the radar for 16 years?
I think that Diddy, over those years before he was apprehended, I think that it was just his ego just kept inflating and he kept getting away with more and more things. If you go back to the Shine incident, that was an incident in which he assaulted somebody in a nightclub in front of, presumably hundreds of powerful people, influential people.
Prosecutors then say one of Combs' associates, 19-year-old Jamal Barrow, also known as the rapper Shine, opened fire, while Combs reportedly pulled out a pistol of his own.
And he got away with it. He was able to make this young artist basically take the fall for him.
I had nothing to do with a shooting in this club. I want to make this 100% clear. I had nothing to do with a shooting in this club. And I feel terrible that people were hurt that night.
I am Natanya Rubin. I'm a mom. I'm a business owner. I'm a daughter.
Them glasses are constricting airflow through your nasal cavity, shorty. Oh my goodness. What am I looking at? I'm not saying like I'm just the glasses, bro, cause your nose is patched, my girl. Good grief.
And I am a victim of gun violence.
Like, look at
3
it.
people inside the club were injured, 2 of them critically, including a young woman with a bullet lodged in her cheek.
I am the woman who was shot on December 27, 1999 in Club New York by Sean Puffy Combs. I have said it from that day, and I will say it till I die. I just watched Shine and Puffy start backing back towards the door, like you would see in any movie when someone is backing away from a scene, but reaching to their side. They were reaching to their side, backing away from the scene to get to the front door. I turned around to tell my friends, oh my God, watch out. I think they're gonna, this is getting crazy. I think they're gonna shoot. I saw the muzzle flash and the bullet slammed into my face. I watched them. I watched both of them fire their guns.
Do you have any sense of which person fired the shot that hit you?
Absolutely. Shine was closest to the bar. Puffy was closest to me.
Remember one thing. This man testified to a jury in 2001, and he saw 12 New Yorkers look him dead in the eye and say, "You're not guilty."
Why do you think it took 16 years?
I feel bad for a girl. Imagine how scary that is, like, for real. And getting shot in your face. I barely like getting flu shots or donating plasma, let alone a bullet hitting my goddamn body. Like, fuck no, baby.
For authorities to really come down hard on Diddy, given what you say happened to you, what happened to Cassie, and what allegedly happened to many other people.
There's an old adage, every dog has his day. This victory is not just a victory for Cassie, for Little Rod, for me. It's a victory for everyone who has felt the specter of violence, oppression, wickedness, evil, whatever.
Yeah, she been waiting for this day.
This is Savage Part 2. Don't tell me about shit. It's 2022 and I'm still a savage. Whenever I want, I get. Whenever I want, I fucking get.
people were definitely talking about his, not just his emotional abuse, but his physical abuse and his temper and his anger and his treatment of women. And there was a lot of rumor and a lot of...
He got that shit on though, bro.
Retaliation?
Fear of retaliation, fear of reputational damage, and fear of being called inauthentic by a culture that unfortunately values sexual violence.
The personality profile that I would assess to Puffy during the years we were working together was very hardworking, ingenious, creative, demanding, prone to temper tantrums. If he didn't have his way, screamed a lot.
Did y'all know that's a hustle? You make enough money to pay everybody so you don't do shit, but be as happy as you can be. I want to be happy. I pay too many people.
I have heard that you would refer to Diddy as the problem child. Is that right?
Yes, I called him my problem child. I used to always joke that I had the notorious B.I.G. and I had the notorious VIP. And the notorious VIP is Puffy.
I wanted everybody to be casting. Y'all might not see it. Yes.
Sean Diddy Combs was a hero to a lot of people. He also fed a lot of mouths, and he kept a lot of people clothed and employed. So people were afraid to come out and talk about it. I mean, I interviewed his former makeup artist, Mila Morales, who said she was horrified at what she heard. She heard him beating Cassie behind closed doors and basically got her out of there, packed her bags, and then, took her to see a doctor. So I think people were afraid of their, for their careers. They were afraid for their livelihoods.
He was very quick to anger, he was quick to have a reaction to things, and he really felt that he was impenetrable. He felt that nobody could go after him, that nobody could take him down. He had a God complex. Puffy really had a God complex, and that defined a lot of his interactions with people that he considered lesser than.
Act bad, it's gonna be an act bad summer. Act bad just means being free, showing himself, letting go. Not giving a fuck. Get ready to act bad.
Diddy was able to get away with lots of stuff for a long time for a few reasons. One, he was cast in the public image as the alternative to Suge Knight. Suge's the big bad monster, Diddy's the nice guy that wants to get along. Diddy is also quite charming. He will disarm you with his smile, with his conversation. And in my interactions with him, he's a very nice guy. I have nothing bad to say about him. I've never had a bad interaction with Diddy. And then there's also...
He's a very nice guy. Shut up, nigga.
So the fact that Diddy is quite powerful.
I'm sorry, that was... I didn't mean that, bro. I just didn't like how you bounced when you said that. I'm sorry.
What more do I have to do, man? Look at my hat, man. Look at my hat. Look how I show up on the Amalfi Coast beat. Am I letting y'all down? Let me know. Am I not representing y'all the right way? You know what I'm saying? The fuck?
New surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs wearing only a towel, assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a
How
hallway
many
at
times
Los
they
Angeles
gonna
hotel
show
in
him
March
beating her
2016.
ass like that?
I think the Cassie video was the moment where everybody in hip-hop basically had to stop pretending that this was all a witch hunt. I think that there was a strong incentive for a lot of people to basically say, well, Diddy, he's a sexual guy, he's a freaky guy, he may or may not be bisexual, but was he an abuser? Was he a monster? No way, I don't believe that. But then when you see that video, it's kind of hard to imagine this guy actually having a sane, rational, normal sex life when you could witness him behaving in such a way to his longtime girlfriend. So I think that when that tape hit, it really kind of changed the game.
But we are able to shun him, and he should be treated like the leper, the social leper and criminal he is. We saw him commit assault.
When I saw the video with Cassie running for her life, I cried my eyes out. Running for her life. When I saw the video with Cassie running for her life, I cried my eyes out.
One more time.
Cassie running for her life.
It don't look like running, but it did look like she wanted to scoot up out of the running. Nah.
I cried
That's running.
my eyes out. And
That's
wondered
running.
how she got there and how he got to a place where he could brutalize someone in that way and think that he could get away with it.
Gentlemen, everybody to the side right here.
When I got the nerve to really watch it and analyze it, I was stricken with how easily he delivered the blows.
As Ventura lies on the ground, Combs then kicks her twice.
Anybody who has watched that video, and I imagine millions of people have watched that video, you can't watch it and think that is a man that has compassion, that is a man that treats women well. There's no excuse for anything that happened on that video, and he's gonna have a hard time convincing anyone, especially a jury, that he's a stand-up guy and has been for years, and that was just a one-off thing.
I think that it is game over. There may have been a path forward before we saw him in action, but now that we've seen him physically assault Cassie, I just don't see how any of us can erase that from our minds.
Mr. Combs himself, went publicly and apologized for the video. And it was hard to watch for him. It was hard to watch for me. It's hard to watch for anyone. That being said, it is not evidence of sex trafficking. There was a certain level of toxicity and drug use in the 10-year relationship between Mr. Combs and the woman that he was in love with, very much in love with, and who was very much in love with him for a period of 10 years. Their difficulties did not stem from their intimate time together. Their difficulties stemmed from the fact that she was cheating on him and he was cheating on her. And what we see in that video is terrible, it's unforgivable, and we don't seek to forgive it. But it's not related to the charge.
There were the folks who would say, what was she doing? Anybody who's accused of beating a woman or putting their hands on a woman, we don't know what she was doing before that to cause him to do that. Well, there's nothing that you can do to cause someone to react that way. No one deserves to be.
Pouring water on my PC. Breaking anything expensive of mine. Holding me at knife point, stabbing me with said knife, drawing a gun on me, trying to get your brothers to jump me for no apparent reason. Trying to poison my food. There's a number of things that I could think of where it would be justified for somebody to beat a woman's ass in the way Diddy beat up Cassie. I just came up with 7 or 8 of them, but I don't know. I guess that's just me.
Him to do that. Well, there's nothing that you can do
in GTA
to cause someone to react that way. No one deserves to be beaten like that.
What's up, Diddy?
How you doing, man?
How you doing, man?
Do you think the defense will try and argue to the judge that the Cassie video is so incendiary, so inflammatory,
slap my mama, definitely getting beat up,
so prejudicial that he couldn't get a fair trial if the jury absorbs it, so that they would try to keep it out because it's simply too prejudicial? Is that something they would argue, and is it something that would fly?
You're a lawyer, huh? So that's the great argument, Harvey. So yes, that's something that they would argue. That's something that they definitely will argue. I would argue it because it's not tied into these freak-offs. This whole thing is about these sex romps, the sex trafficking. That's an isolated incident that has nothing to do with the sex trafficking, these freak-offs, the prostitution, the lack of consent for sex, the coercion. That is a fight between a couple. An ugly fight between a couple. And like you just said, that will inflame the passions of a jury. Anyone who looks at that is disgusted. I'm disgusted looking at that. How do you hit a woman? I mean, it's just, to me, it's a horrible thing. And
you close your fist and then you punch. And I mean, that's not solely how you hit a woman. That's just how you hit anybody. So to answer your question on how could you hit a woman, you just close your fist, ball your hand to a fist, and you swing. Or you open hand palm slap her, front or back hand. That's how you do it. Yeah, that's about it in GTA.
And the prejudicial value will clearly outweigh the probative value in this instance. Will the judge preclude it? Probably not, the way things have been going for him, because the prosecution is going to argue it's a pattern of his behavior, including violent behavior that he employed against women.
The Cassie.
Now throwing the pot, it ain't funny, but the way he chucked that pot was crazy.
Violent behavior that he employed against women.
Oh, never mind, that was a lamp. The way he chucked, was that a lamp or a pot? I don't know, was that a lamp or
against women?
That was a lamp. I don't know. What fell out that bitch?
It's a pattern of his behavior, including violent behavior that he employed against women.
The cat.
I don't know if that was a lamp or a flower pot, but he chucked the fuck out. Oops. But he chucked the fuck out that bitch, bro. God damn.
The video was such a big deal, but really him throwing his girlfriend on the ground in the hotel hallway, that kind of pales in comparison to a lot of the things that have been alleged in this indictment. So if there's further video footage, and presumably there's a lot of this footage, it's gonna be crazy.
Pardon. Talk about the Cassie video being inflammatory to a jury. Wait till they see the freak-off videos, okay? Cassie Ventura video, that's child's play compared to what they're gonna see in freak-off videos.
I do not like
R&B
that
singer
bitch.
Cassie has accused hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs of rape and a decade of physical abuse. The two were romantically involved for years, but in a lawsuit, Cassie says there was a pattern of control, drug use, and forced sexual encounters.
I find it unbelievable that Diddy did not settle that lawsuit before it got filed, and especially knowing that there was surveillance video of the incident in 2016, that if he would have settled with her, we may not be talking about this today. Cassie is the one that opened Pandora's box, and had she just gotten the money, gone away, Diddy might be a free man today.
I have to imagine when Diddy woke up in his jail cell that first day, he thought, why didn't I just take the deal? Because exactly that. If he had just settled, we probably would have never known any of this went down. So for us, it's a blessing because
He settled late, but he settled.
All the things that are alleged in this indictment, we don't want a person like that walking around in society.
Main emotion I always get when I see a man putting hands on a woman in this way is just disgust and disappointment. Like, you know, yeah, Diddy need his ass beat. Like, I wish Cassie would have had a gun on her and would have shot him right there on the spot.
And then he used to be all over Diddy dick. Or like, didn't he work for Diddy or some shit? Did he hold him up to high regard? Like, here's the thing, bro. And yes, abuse of a significant other is bad. He really is. But let's say, okay, you got a homeboy that just swung on his girl. Like, you known this homie for years, you known on girl for as long as her and your homie been together, and he just throw it to the ground and just kick her in the leg. Are you then just going to cut off ties with your homie? Are you gonna pull him to the side and be like, hey bro, that shit wasn't cool, like bro, like I don't want to ever see you do that shit again, like that ain't cool, bro, like whoop, and still be friends afterwards? Just hold them to a higher standard, like bro, don't touch your girl like that again. You gonna do that, or you just gonna cut them off completely? Me personally, I would do the pull them to the side, be like, hey bro, I don't want to see you do that again, blah blah blah. That's what I would do personally. I feel like everybody that was on Diddy's side, knowing that Diddy did these things, even the people seeing it for the first time that was on Diddy's side, that was holding Diddy to high regard, are now turned against him and saying these things about him, is because the public perception is against Diddy. So if you're seen trying to defend Diddy in any way, shape, or form, even by saying like, yeah, he was wrong, but A, B, and C, then they're gonna come after you. Now I can understand you saying, yeah bro, that was wrong, I don't want to see no man put their hand on a woman. But then they go and say, I wish Cassie had a gun and shot him. You act like he had her on the ground, choking the life out of her, hitting her with elbows, repeatedly punching her in the face, damn near killing her ass. If anything, I feel like it should be equal footing. Alright, boom. He threw Cassie on the ground. He kicked her and shit. I wish she had a baseball bat and bopped that nigga in the head a few times. Bopped him in the back. Hit him in the kneecap. Not shoot the nigga. I personally feel like shooting's a little extreme. But then again, I've never been a woman who got my ass beat by a nigga that's the size of a linebacker. I might be tripping, but I don't fucking know. Fuck it.
Woman in this way is just disgusting disappointment. Like, you know, yeah, Diddy need his ass beat. Like, I wish Cassie would have had a gun.
Now, Diddy need his ass beat? I agree with that.
In this way is just disgusting disappointment. Like, you know, yeah, Diddy need his ass beat. Like, I wish Cassie would have had a gun on her and would have shot him right there on the spot.
That, not so much. I don't agree with shooting the nigga for that video alone. I don't believe in that.
Honestly, I don't understand how this case was handled on behalf of P. Diddy, on behalf of Combs. There's no reason to have those settlement negotiations, which they were engaged in for quite some time, not agree to a settlement, let her file the case, have a front page of every newspaper have explosive allegations against your client, and then settle it 1 day later. And that was absolutely the worst of all worlds, because what you have is now an allegation that destroys reputationally this guy. It's actually what started this federal investigation.
Had Diddy settled with Cassie before she filed a lawsuit, you and I might not be speaking today.
I agree with you 100%. There's no criminal case if that happens.
The lawyers let her
Bad boys. Stupid nigga.
file a lawsuit, settle 24 hours later, and open Pandora's box. That's pretty incredible.
And unfortunate. Had it been settled quietly, they would have never known about it to have the opportunity to do what they did.
He must be kicking himself for that.
You know, he is so focused on trying to right this wrong that it's actually giving him a form of strength and a form of confidence that I think is going to get him through this difficult time period. There's an adage that we have in my office: don't tell me what I did wrong, tell me what I do next. And that's where he is.
Cassie Ventura's bombshell lawsuit in November that opened the door, really the floodgates.
Who's this
for all
nigga?
these
This is a new nigga. Like, I'm halfway through this doc and I'm just now seeing him. Who is this nigga? Former federal prosecutor. Okay. The fuck?
similar allegations to come forward.
Well, this latest lawsuit was filed by adult film star Adria English. She alleges that she was forced to
come forward.
Well, this latest lawsuit was filed by adult film
She bad as fuck.
star Adria English. She alleges that she was forced to drink alcohol and consume.
He ain't no bad boy, and he a sad boy. Boy in jail kicking himself in the ass right now.
Drugs, and then was, quote, film star Adria English. She alleges that she was forced to drink alcohol and consume drugs, and then was, quote, passed off to be sexually assaulted.
In a 79-page lawsuit filed by a music producer who claims to have worked with and lived with Sean Combs for a period of time, alleges there were underage girls, hidden cameras, and sexual harassment at his home. How you doing?
In a new lawsuit, Don Richard, who is a member of the Combs-formed group Danity Kane, accuses... In a new lawsuit, Don Richard, who is a member of the Combs...
That was girl wave, and I thought Diddy just randomly hit me with that. Like, bro, what you doing?
...formed group Danity Kane accuses him of terrorizing and sexually abusing her for years.
Indicted music mogul Sean Diddy Combs is facing new sex assault allegations. A woman named Talia Graves just filed a lawsuit accusing him of drugging and then raping her. This is more than 2 decades ago.
It opened a Pandora's box because what else it did was this. If you make a claim against me, within 24 hours, I will settle with you. So of course now the floodgates open. Legally, I don't understand. That was maybe the worst strategy I've ever seen in my life.
Shocking new accusations. His alleged victim humiliated and traumatized. Diddy's legal troubles just got bigger.
Sean Diddy Combs faces another new lawsuit, the second this week.
A fourth woman is now suing music mogul Sean Combs, claiming he sexually assaulted her when she was just a teenager. Another woman has come forward accusing hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs of sexual assault. This is the 8th lawsuit against Combs since November.
Cassie Ventura really opened the floodgates, and women now feel empowered, and a whole lot of people.
Mogul Sean Diddy Combs of sexual assault. This is the 8th.
You think he was at the Diddy party? I don't know. He got the Diddy shades on. I don't know.
lawsuit against Combs since November.
Cassie Ventura really opened the floodgates, and women now feel empowered, and a whole lot of people are coming out and they're telling their stories about Diddy.
I have to imagine we are going to see a long line
That nigga said, of course.
of people who want him to be found guilty in the criminal trial, because it makes obviously the civil cases that much more easy. Once he is found guilty, or if he is found guilty of these criminal charges, I have to imagine his assets just get seized. They start getting auctioned off.
And I think the fact that he has a lot
Like,
of
bro,
money.
he just looked like he in a daze. Every time you see him in front of paparazzi, just thinking about the next freak off. Just he looked like he picking which girl in the crowd he want at the freak off. Look at him. He a gooner, a sexual deviant. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. Yeah, people getting freaking indicted. Yeah, ain't no.
Kind of fuels that fire, because this is not like suing somebody who's judgment proof. There's a lot of money to go around.
There is a lot of money to go around, and I think even if he escapes these criminal charges, he is going to have years and years ahead of him with these civil lawsuits.
This nigga stay licking his lip, and I'm sick of it.
Says she was only 17 when she was a victim of sex trafficking and gang rape by Combs and his associates.
She alleges in 1991, Sean Diddy Combs drugged her, then sexually assaulted her. In the suit, she says he videotaped and distributed it.
Lamprose claims the rapper forced her to take ecstasy and demanded she have sexual intercourse with Kim Porter.
She says Combs then began kissing her without her consent and forced her to perform oral sex on him.
I have had women that a rape, even if it's when they were a child, ruins their life. They can't have a relationship. They can't make love with their husband. They can't have a family. They have flashbacks. They are afraid. They have night terrors, and it never goes away. And if you do manage to marry,
Forced to take ecstasy is crazy. It is crazy. Which that is the thing. Like, how do you get forced to take ecstasy? Let's pretend this is a Glock. Take this ecstasy, bitch. Like, is it like that, or they put it in the food? They put it in the hors d'oeuvres, or is it like, if you don't take this ecstasy, you can't be at the party? Well, I mean, if I gotta take ecstasy to be at this party, I don't want to be here. But the fact they wanted to be there so bad, they would take the ecstasy because they don't want to get kicked out. Is that necessarily forcing, or just giving you an ultimatum? I don't know. See, they're saying forced, not laced, tricked, or nothing. Forced, yeah. So, I mean, what you think? They probably like took the ecstasy and said, eat this goddamn bitch, eat this goddamn ecstasy. Think they're doing it like that to everybody at the party? That would be crazy if that was the case. That'd be wild.
or have children or have a family in some way, it affects the way you raise your children, how you see the world. It's never over, Harvey. It's never over.
Nigga, close your mouth.
No, not yet. You're messing up. That's your problem. I got a nice, go get a drink downstairs.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs. And he often electronically recorded them.
Either they thought it was some light shit and it was the heavy DMT type shit, or he did it, or he dead ass shoved it down their throat. Well, if he shoved it down their throat, yeah, it's forced. But if they thought it was some light shit, then that's just trickery at that point. That didn't really force. But then again, it's like, how could you prove that I tricked you into thinking this was A, B, and C, unless it was said on one of the recordings that Diddy has? Which, if that was on one of the recordings that Diddy has, that would be crazy. But I could see him saying like, man, this is some, man, nigga, this a leave. Oh, a leave? Ecstasy. That would be crazy. That's why he the diddler. Oh, that boy the diddler. He is. He He sounds like a damn a horror folk tale.
Hollywood is often quick to speak up and speak loudly when somebody does something bad, but they've been silent on Diddy. I'm wondering if there are a lot of nervous people in this town, especially now knowing silent on Diddy. I'm wondering if there are a lot of nervous people.
1 nervous, 2 nervous. Nah, I'm playing. I don't know who those are. But yeah, it's a bunch of nervous people in that motherfucker, bro.
In this town, especially now knowing that there are videos.
There should be a lot of nervous people in this town. If there are higher up people that are still famous right now that are on these videos.
I feel like she wanted to be at the party. She is too excited for this interview. That nigga said, nigga's a real super villain, bro. Put him in Arkham. I just want to know what Justin Bieber gonna do. He's gonna live his life and be out of this shit, nigga. Like, if anything happened to Justin Bieber, that nigga don't want no parts. He don't want no nothing. He's just gonna be in the cut with his wife and doing Justin Bieber things. But nah, she a little too excited to be. Look at that. She a little too excited to be giving this interview.
It's going to blow. I mean, Hollywood is going to just implode, I think.
Diddy.
You think if he get called to trial, he'll go or he vanishing? He definitely gonna vanish. Cause I ain't gonna lie, that video with Justin. Hold on, what was that video with Justin Bieber? Who's the football player? What was the football player that he was that was showing the video? What was it? Justin Bieber. I spelled Bieber wrong as hell. Diddy party. What was that? Yeah, this one. This right here. Oh damn, I done fucked up. That nigga just looks zesty right there. Like if he gotta explain that, he not going to trial. He is not going. He's not going. If he gotta explain what they was doing right there, he is not going. He's not. He's staying at the crib. I got too much money to be exposed myself. I'm gonna let them wonder. He's not going. I promise you, he's not.
Party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote.
Oh, really? One, yeah. Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So,
he was at the Diddy party. Shorty back there probably participated.
Yeah. Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
Fair to say that some of these videos might include people other than Cassie and Diddy, and that there might be other celebrities on these videos.
I don't know of other celebrities, I'll tell you that. In terms of the other people, I don't want to comment on that until I've seen them. That's probably a bridge too far for me because I haven't seen the evidence yet. But we'll see we'll see what's on them.
What about his desire to bring celebrities into the fold? Based on what you know about him, was that something that was always his end game? Because what I'm wondering is, what's on these videotapes? I think the prosecutors have them. The question is, did he court celebrities to come to these?
He was a celebrity magnet. My phone rang consistently with celebrities asking, can I come to the party? When is the next party? Put my name down, take my number. The parties were fantastic, Harvey.
Hold on. Shawty neck moving a little too much. Let me move my I don't think y'all saw it. Hold on. Now she be doing at them parties. Getting ready for the night. That's crazy. I ain't gonna hold you.
And then they went so.
Nah, that's crazy. Nah, that was insane. Oh, fuck. That's funny.
Sideways.
I suppose. I never stayed long enough to find out.
And she capping. I feel like she definitely stayed for at least a handful of those parties. She had to at least stay for a handful.
I suppose. I never stayed long enough to find out.
So who was with you this weekend?
A bunch of my friends.
Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber,
So far, so
French
good.
Montana.
All them niggas went to the Diddy party.
I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. Go to this party. I think half the people there were butt naked.
Diddy threw lots of parties that were filled with celebrities, big celebrities.
You know, Kanye was there getting his freak off going. You know he the. I don't know. I feel like Kanye. If we're gonna put Kanye and Diddy in who freakier, Diddy getting exposed for his shit. So it's like, he got some gay allegations against him. So I guess that'll make him a little higher than Kanye, because we don't hear no gay allegations about Kanye. But Kanye up there with that freak bullshit. He up there with that freak bullshit. Niggas get freaky when they get the bread, I'm telling you. You know Post Malone was over there in the Goonies. You know Jaden Smith. Hold on. You know Jaden Smith was over there taking that ecstasy that was forced upon everybody else but him, and was in those Goonies. You knew he was. Will Smith in the back looking at Jada Pinkett hitting on old boy, what's his name? The nigga who made the Entanglement song, whatever his fucking name is. That's probably how they got together. Will Smith, Jaden invited Will and Jada to a Diddy party, right? Say, hey, can I bring my parents along? Diddy like, sure, the more the merrier. Went up in there, because Will and Jada already on their swinger shit. Boom. So then, August Alsina, that's a nigga name. So then, Jada Pinkett met August Alsina there. They started bumping uglies, and Will was in the back watching, which is why August Alsina was like, oh yeah, he gave me his blessing, cause Will Smith was in the cuck chair just like that. And then he ran off and did his own little freak bullshit. And then you got Jaden somewhere taking ecstasy, whatever the fuck he doing at this party too. So, I think it's a lot of money in gooning.
And as you say, there were whispers.
This is all alleged, though. I'm just making up stories. It's not real. At least I don't think.
About what happens late into the night at various parties, not to mention specific parties like freak-offs. How likely is it, do you think, that there are celebrities there?
I would assume that the vast majority of the people involved in these freak-offs would be celebrities, at least on the male side of things. You know, it's easy for me to imagine, and from what we've heard, that a lot of these parties might be like a handful of guys, and then dozens or even hundreds of women who are basically involved in it.
Touch the star, touch the star.
The real sad part about it is the silence of the people in Hollywood. Are they scared? Are they nervous for themselves? Are they worried about something like this coming out about them? People
Yes, yes, and yes.
are concerned about the slightest infraction these days. I have to be honest with you. People are afraid of being canceled.
You said we are not done and that Combs did not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
People are thinking, oh crap, I was at that party, what happened, what did I do, what did others do? And I think that video that the Homeland Security folks seized freaked them out.
Yeah, it freaked a lot of people out for sure. It's the after parties, it's the side rooms. You know, it's whether there's video of those smaller gatherings of people who stay when the party's over or who are getting together, you know, when everybody else is in the larger room that people are afraid of. I think that video is gonna blow a lot of, you know, stuff open wide.
I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be a lot of y'all's hero that's on these videos, and it's gonna reshape the way you view the world, Hollywood. Shit, maybe the reason why you have passion for shit is going to change a lot. Like, there's gonna be a lot of broken hearts. There's gonna be a lot of broken relationships. There's gonna be a lot of businesses being tanked, and a lot of money being lost when these videos come out. It's gonna be a lot of shit. And you niggas that look up to these people, ooh, y'all gonna be hurt. Y'all gonna be lost. Y'all not gonna know what to do with yourselves. Just be prepared to see your favorite celebrity on them tapes. Women, you too, cause I'm pretty sure there's some freak bull women on these tapes. I promise you that y'all look up to. Promise you. I ain't gonna say in there.
If it comes to light.
If some celebrity is captured on video at one of these freak-offs, could that celebrity's lawyer somehow go to prosecutors, the judge, and say, please blur my client, cut them out. There's no reason to make them collateral damage.
It's possible that somebody of some renown, some fame, a recognizable face, could be involved in some of these freak-off tapes. If they are, that person clearly can ask prosecutors to take some kind of action to blur out their face or...
But if these women were trafficked the way the media say these women were trafficked, that means they are in there forcing themselves on these women. I don't think that they would blur that out because now you in trouble too. Now the law on your ass. If they're really forcing themselves on these women, if these women are not willing participants.
Or to make sure that they're not recognizable, if they haven't done anything illegal. However, at some point there's a balancing test between a celebrity's right to privacy and to the protection of their career, and to the public's right to know, and to the jury's right to see and deliberate on a just decision. And every time the prosecution is going to choose the public's right to know and the jury's right to do justice over a celebrity's right to remain private.
If I was a Hollywood celebrity and I was at one of those parties, I'd make sure to talk to a lawyer because I could easily be dragged into this.
Does he have any goodwill attached when it comes to this jury that he'll have?
In my opinion, Sean Combs enters the courtroom with a very complicated history.
I love it. Oh! I'm a savage. Whatever I want, I'm going to get. Whatever I want, I have to get.
I think the defense is going to have a difficult time portraying.
This doc ain't looking good, Diddy. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. And this is just with the information we do know. This doc ain't looking good for you, homie. We 43 minutes and 33 seconds in. This ain't looking good for you, homie.
Him as a choir
Not
boy
gonna hold you.
or as someone who is beloved by the public. Sean Combs is someone who has been consistently in the crosshairs of law enforcement since the 90s when he first came into prominence. So he's a complicated figure entering that courtroom.
What if, Nancy, Diddy's lawyers say in trial, look, the prosecution is
Get
infantilizing
Nancy off the
women
goddamn
by saying
screen.
that they were at these freak-offs under duress or pressure, that people go to orgies, people do drugs, to assume that they didn't have the right not to go or to leave when they wanted is a huge leap. To that, as a prosecutor, you would say what?
So when evidence comes out of Sean Combs beating, threatening, chasing victims, then I believe a jury will see that they were not infantilized as you are describing. Yes, they were coerced. Yes, they were forced. Yes, they were asked to change their stories. They're going to show that video over and over and over about what happens to women that won't change their stories.
Now, I will say this. They did say that Diddy, that the lawyer seen the videos of Diddy and Cassie and the male prostitutes and getting their little freak on. And they said Cassie was feeling that shit. They said Cassie was all up in, they letting everybody up in the Goonies willingly and was just having a grand old time with it. That's what they were saying. So now what if it shows that nobody was forced? What if it shows that everybody was having a grand old time? Alright, so now you just embarrassed Diddy for being a freaky ass, freak bull ass nigga because a video came out of him slamming his girl to the ground. Like I said, it ain't right that he slammed her to the ground, but is it wrong for everybody to come together and be some freak ass, freak bull ass niggas and women? I personally don't think so. Especially if everything is consensual. Let rich freak bull niggas be rich freak bull niggas. Now if it was forced upon, then yeah, we need to chop that in the butt.
If the defense can find witnesses that participated in these freak-offs who are willing to get on the stand and said, I did so freely, I was not coerced, I wanted to do these things, and they have enough witnesses that are compelling, that will be their best defense. It's not illegal.
I promise I didn't pre-watch this doc. I promise I didn't. Spot on what I said.
Illegal to be a freak. It is illegal to drug people, coerce people into doing those things. Be a freak. It is illegal. That will be their best defense. It's not illegal to be a freak. It is illegal to drug people, coerce people into doing those things.
Boom.
Here that these investigators have been contacting individuals that they have seen on this footage. One person, in addition to the accusers who have filed these civil suits, is a male sex worker.
It's pretty stunning that Diddy's lawyer could subpoena some of the people who were at these parties, knowing they were there because there's video of them. And all of a sudden, they're forced to take the stand and talk about this.
I have to imagine anyone who has participated is absolutely terrified right now. Because imagine if you started participating in these parties years ago, and now you've gone on to become a trad wife, or maybe you're just a stay-at-home mom, and that is not your life anymore. But you might be subpoenaed, and you might have to testify to things that are on these videos. It's absolutely horrifying, but I will say it will be...
Women, this is why you need to be honest with your man. Whenever he asks you about your experiences and A, B, and C, tell him you went to the Diddy party. Tell him you busted it open for Diddy and his group of friends. Tell him that you was a freak ass, freak bull, old little baby. You was a freak ass, freak bull, little shorty. So whenever shit like this come out, your husband don't look at you weird. It don't fuck your marriage up in no kind of way, cause he already know. I mean, if he stood by you, and then the shit come out, it's like it's not as much embarrassment. It's not as much what you call it, damn, what's it called? Damn, it's not a lot of damage control you gotta do. Let him know. If my girl say a couple years ago I went to a Diddy party, I'm gone, and you have the right to. Now, what if your girl was like, oh no, I've been a good girl all my life, and then you found out she participated in these Diddy parties? You gonna wish that she told you that from the jump. So whenever it do come out and she do take that stand, and now they looking at you like, damn, you really made a hoe into a housewife. Like, it's gonna embarrass you. That's what I'm saying, ladies, just don't bring nobody down with you. Tell your husband that you went to these orgies. Tell your husband that you was at these freak bull nigga rich, freak bull freak Diddy parties. Tell him that. I'm gonna punch her throat, then I'm gone. So see, now you at risk of getting your throat punched. Now you can't testify because your damn lyrics is cut. Your damn vocal cords are shattered. You might lose some weight because he done bopped out your thyroid. I'm just saying, it's crazy out here.
A really compelling trial.
Just wanted to give y'all a taste of what it's like being in a mix, mixing a record. What you got to say?
I just want to say thank you to everybody, and I hope everybody likes the record. It's definitely an honor to be on what Puff is calling a bad boy classic.
If I'm the defense, I would also point out that there was also a financial motive here for these women, right? It's not just consent. How many years ago was that confrontation? Many, many years ago. She didn't go to the law police at any time. She didn't go to a lawyer at any time until recently. And then instead of going to law enforcement, look, if you're a victim of a crime, the first place you should go to is the police. She didn't do that. She went to a lawyer and tried to get money, okay? And I'm just telling you what the defense would argue here. And she got money. All of a sudden, all these other victims came forward. Everyone who was claiming to be a victim was first looking for money. And that's a motive. That's proper fodder for cross-examination.
That pink suit with the white button up on it, what's it called, blazer? That shit crispy as the fuck. I wanna get me one today. I need it.
And that's a motive. That's proper fodder for cross-examination.
They are going to ascribe motive to the women that they would sleep with comes. They are going to ascribe motive to the women that they are going to ascribe motive to the women that they.
This motherfucker need to blink. He did not take his eyes off Diddy once. He looked like he was mad because he sent Diddy letters and he has yet to be invited to the freak off. That's what he looking like right now.
That fodder.
Look at this nigga, bro.
They are going to
look like he got a fake ass tan. Look, dead eyed on him. Like, damn, nigga, blink. God, it's not that serious. Shit.
Or his cohorts in exchange for a career boost. There was all the quid quo pro. I don't think women on the jury are going to go along with that. But when you combine that with threats of violence and actual violence, Harvey, please. Hiding women away in remote areas so their bruises can heal? They're going to hear that. The jury's going to hear that.
We should want, as a society, to question the validity of an allegation. Doesn't mean smearing somebody. It simply means, how come you never said this to anyone for 20 years?
What's up, bro? Good, man. Happy Wednesday to you, bro. Thank you, man.
I have interviewed a lot of people for this documentary, and a lot of them have said game over after they saw the Cassie video. Does this compel you to put him on the stand and explain it?
I don't know that I could keep him off the stand. I think he is very eager to tell his story, and I think he will tell every part of his story, including what you see on the video. So I expect it's going to be explained by the both of us. The thing that's missing from this story is the overall context of the entire situation. And when that context is appreciated, what people are going to see, clearly, this was a long-term, loving, intense relationship that had mutual infidelities. And that is the reason why you see some of what you see, on the video.
It's kind of breathtaking that what you're telling me is that Diddy is going to take the stand and he will be cross-examined about this video, about the violence in the video, about the freak-offs, about allegedly blowing up a car.
If I'm Diddy and everybody consented to my little freak-off and I'm innocent and nobody came out and helped me expose my innocence, did not come out in defense of me, and you were at these parties, I'm going on that stand and I'm telling on everybody. I'm telling on everybody who was quiet. I'm telling on every motherfucking body. I'ma ask my lawyer, hey, if I'm going down for this bullshit, I want each and every individual tape showing these freak bull, freak ass, freak bull, freak rich, freak bull ass niggas in this motherfucker with me. I want you to do it. I'm exposing everybody. The judge better hope he not in the video. The judge better hope. Cause, but judge, you going down too. Hit the gavel. Order in the court. Nope, you had a shorty in your shorts. Ain't no order or nothing. Stop playing with me, nigga. Politicians. Ooh, better hope the mayor of New York was not in that bitch. Ooh, you better hope these politicians. Ooh, if you was at these Diddy parties, boy, go ahead and retire. Go ahead and retire. Go ahead and retire because you're not getting another votes. I'm telling you, I'm snitching on everybody if I was Diddy and I was innocent.
All of those things, that feels kind of dicey.
He has his story, and he has a story that I think only he can tell in the way he can tell it in real time. And it's a human story. It's a story of love. It's a story of hurt. It's a story of heartbreak. I mean, when he describes that relationship, the word he uses more than any other word is heartbreak. He was heartbroken. She was heartbroken.
Are you doing all right, man? Are you okay? Are you all right, man?
What kind of a jury does Sean Combs want? Men, women, white, black? Is it more complicated than that?
The best jury for Sean Combs is a very diverse jury, and perhaps a jury that is primarily.
Look at the drip, and I still want to know why the fuck is there a dog here? But nah, that fucking coat is fucking fire. Oh, I want to be a rich nigga so bad. I want to be rich. I want this money. Fuck, why am I so broke?
Early male, he 100% wants black people.
Look at the pinky ring.
That is primarily male.
Look at the pinky ring. Make me rich.
He 100% wants black people on the jury, people that understand where he comes from and the hard work and dedication that he had to show to rise to the level of prominence where he currently is. He wants people that respond to celebrity, success, fame, power.
I find, as a former sex crimes prosecutor and someone who's tried these cases, sometimes women are the harshest critic of women and the most severe judge of the credibility of other women making accusations. Honestly, older black women from Brooklyn, where I'm from, where he's from, they're street smart. You want street smart jurors is what you want here.
What kind of jury do you want?
I want people who've gone out and had a life
Niggas.
with romance and love and loss and cheating and heartbreak on their own. Because
Freak
that
bull
is the
niggas on
person
my
who's
jury
gonna see
if
this
I'm
for
Diddy.
what it is. And this is all about those things.
You mentioned earlier about a racial component here. Do you want black people on this jury?
I've never been one to do that when picking
Yes.
a jury. I want people who are sensitive to the issues that I think are important.
That means yes.
Would you be open to a plea bargain?
Well, it's not up to me. It's up to Mr. Combs, and I don't see it happening.
Why?
Because he believes he's innocent. He believes he's innocent, and what's more, he believes that he needs to stand up, not just for himself.
You was at the Diddy party. You was at the Diddy party. I don't know how old you are, but if you are of age, you was definitely at the Diddy party. Y'all knew nothing about it. Y'all never went. Y'all couldn't have gone. Y'all would have been in a whole different area of the world when these Diddy parties were going on. If I was Diddy and I was innocent and I was having these, I ain't gonna lie, I would not let my sons come to these parties. I wouldn't let my sons go to these parties. But I know for sure he was there. I know for sure you was there. Pretty sure you was there. And if you were of age, I don't even think you even got to be of age. I don't even think he really cared about that shit. You was there. These ladies, I don't believe they was there.
He believes that he needs to stand up, not just for himself, for his family, and for everybody who's been targeted by the federal government. He feels an obligation to those people to say, you know what? Maybe I can break the model. Maybe I can show the world that a black man can win, in federal court. And I think he probably is the only person I know of who might be able to actually accomplish that.
No, Diddy!
That's really Diddy, bro. Diddy was denied bail. This trial could be a year out. So this man went from, a person of incredible wealth and means
To the right, up high! Over the shoulder, right!
to somebody who is now in a very small jail cell, mostly in isolation. That must be beyond jarring.
It has to be, pretty eye-opening to wake up in a cell when you were living on Star Island, one of the most exclusive places in the world to live. But again, I think it goes back to that Cassie video in the hotel. Anyone who has seen that video thinks to themselves,
one way in, one way out, unless you got a boat. Unless you got a boat. And from what it looked like, everybody and their mama had a goddamn dock. Bro, just look at the money here. Look at the money here. All these houses, these little mansions, blocked off by high ass trees and gates. Got a little drive path right here. You know, you can park your car in. But like, look at this little right here. You a rich white woman. You definitely jogging that. You ain't going to no gym. You probably got a gym in your crib. You probably not even walking outside. Then you got another island, and then another island, and then another island, and then another island of just rich niggas. Just, I don't even know what that is, actually. Just rich niggas. Look at the money. Look at the money. You got niggas out here just jet skiing. Look at the money. Buy vehicle, one way in, one way out. I need to get rich, man.
I think it goes back to that Cassie video in the hotel. Anyone
Hold on. You know, every neighbor knew about Diddy's party, and majority of those neighbors, if not all of them, went to those parties. This is a Diddy freak bull island.
But again, I think it goes back to that Cassie video in the hotel. Anyone who has seen that video thinks to themselves, I'm glad Diddy is sitting there eating his bologna sandwich on his very hard cod.
What's his state of mind right now?
His state of mind is actually remarkably positive. I spend several hours with him every day. I'm going to leave you and go see him now. And his resolve is strong. He's engaged. He's focused on his defense. And we see him every day. And he is come to terms with the fact that this is where he is for now. We are trying to get this matter to trial as soon as possible.
Whether he skates on federal charges or not, is it game over for him in terms of his career because of the Cassie video?
There's no returning from this. I mean, how can you look at that video and then, have anybody take you seriously and want to sit?
Did we forget what Chris Brown did? Did we forget what Chris Brown did? Didn't this man win a Grammy for like best R&B artist of the year or some shit? Chris Brown, Rihanna, abuse. Did we forget?
Why didn't Chris Brown end up in prison for assaulting Rihanna? Chris Brown almost killed Rihanna. And you'll never believe the story. Back when they were dating, Rihanna was assaulted by Chris Brown during an argument that began when she read text messages from another woman on Brown's phone. The fight started in a Lamborghini they drove in together. On the way to the passenger window, punched her in the eye and drove away while steering with one hand. He hit her head against the passenger window, punched her in the eye and drove away while steering with one hand and continuing to punch her with the other. If this isn't insane enough, when Rihanna's mouth started bleeding, she spit blood onto Chris Brown's face. But you won't believe what Chris said to her next. Chris got so upset she split blood on him. He told her, "Now I'm really going to kill you." Brown was charged with felony assault, but never.
That's what Chris Brown did. Look at Rihanna's face. Look at her face.
For Best R&B Album, the nominees are
Chris Brown, 2. All right, and the Grammy goes to Chris Brown.
Now let's go over what he said again.
From this. I mean, how for him in terms of his career because of the Cassie video?
There's no returning from this. I mean, how can you look at that video and then, have any...
Did we not see Rihanna's face? Did we not hear the description of how Chris Brown was beating her ass? And he returned from that and got the best R&B album of the year at the Grammys? I'm pretty sure Diddy can return. Now, if everything was legal with these freak bull parties he was throwing, if everything was legal there, I'm pretty sure he can make a comeback. Chris Brown literally said, "I'ma kill you, bitch." was beating her ass, smacking her head on the goddamn windshield, and just brutalizing Shorty while driving one hand, doing Ryu combo, all that driving in the Lambo. He came back. Stop playing, bro.
Anybody take you seriously and want to sit across the table at the boardroom? Even just that video is enough. Nothing else may materialize. He may be found not guilty for anything moving forward past the video, but I think his reputation is over. I think his career is over. And America loves a good comeback story. I think this may be the exception to that rule.
You know, he just listened to every record. He gave me his input on what could make the records that he did comment on all the way classic and just reach their full potential.
Nobody's ever going to be able to take it away from Puff that he had a hand and was incredibly important in the career of so many important artists.
As I lay down walls like I'll cop it, stop it. If you think they're gonna make a profit. When you got a lot of cars, don't even drive no more. When you expect it to win, they ain't surprised no more.
Yeah, what you know about going out? Head west, head left, TV, talking to headrest.
Artistic contribution of so many of these artists that he brought to the forefront was so gigantic that it's kind of hard to imagine.
I think all those people that were shown were at Diddy parties. I'm just putting it out there.
Imagine anyone being able to take that away from him. But at the same time, I mean, we've kind of seen it with Russell Simmons. We've certainly seen it with R. Kelly.
R. Kelly is spending more time in prison after being sentenced federally for child pornography and enticement of minors for sex.
As time goes by and people become uncomfortable with celebrating your contributions, it's just going to be more and more difficult for people to have a conversation about it.
Now here's the thing about R. Kelly. A lot of that freak bull, pissy minor pissy freak bull, pissy ass nigga still got motherfuckers listening to his music. Let's go to Spotify. Go to Spotify real quick. Let's look up R. Kelly. Is R. Kelly even on here? He should be, right? R. Kelly. That nigga still got 4 million plus monthly listeners. Y'all still listening to this nigga.
How did he without bringing up all of this negative shit as well?
It's an asterisk. It does.
Even though he pissed on a minor and did all this crazy ass shit, you niggas are still listening to his music. And he guilty of his shit. Now, if Diddy innocent of this shit, if he innocent over everything and the only thing you got against him is a video of him putting hands on Cassie, if he innocent of everything else and y'all don't let him have a comeback story, you a hypocritical ass bitch.
It's more difficult for people to have a conversation about Diddy without bringing up all of this negative
Look at
shit
the
as well.
quotes.
It's an asterisk. It doesn't negate what you've been able to achieve. Far be it from me to ever act like.
Nah, I do feel bad for her. I feel like she should be compensated in some form or fashion. Getting shot in the face by Diddy is crazy. Allegedly.
I mean, I danced to quite a lot of those songs. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Nothing about me is a hypocrite. Far be it from me to ever act like. I mean, I danced to quite a lot of those songs. I'm not going to be.
Nigga shoot me in my face. I don't give a fuck if he's the lyrical of a lyricist, lyrical ass niggas. I'm pressing skip every time.
A hypocrite. Nothing about me is a hypocrite.
If the op shot me and his song come on and it's the bangerest of banger ass songs, I'm leaving the club.
He is an icon. He has been an icon all these years, and he is an icon with an asterisk now. You can be a phenomenal musician and a monster.
I don't care about his legacy. I don't give a flying fig about his legacy. His legacy is as a sex abuser with probably hundreds, if not more, victims. That's his legacy. Don't ask me any more about his Hollywood legacy. I don't care.
I just don't like Nancy. I just don't.
We're talking about a guy that did a hell of a lot for the black culture, for the culture in general. We're not going to label any color on it. We're going to say
you was at the parties.
For the culture, right? Black excellence. Tequila made by a black man.
Give everybody jobs, schools. It was a dream of mine to come back to my neighborhood and open up a school.
Look at the
It
coats.
really meant something to black people. He was an inspirational figure where people wanted to aspire to be like him, to have that degree of success, to be able to buy a giant compound in a state in the Hamptons and throw white parties every year and invite a giant compound in a state in the Hamptons and throw.
You were at the Diddy party, Tyrese. You were there.
White parties every year and invite every single A-list celebrity and
You were
have
there.
your own jet.
All black everything. All black crew.
Yo, that jet clean.
Greatest pilots in the world.
I mean, look, it's the uber
Yo,
American
that
dream
jet
to be able to do
clean.
So he was a giant, huge role model for a lot of people. And now he's fallen from that perch. You build him up, you tear him down. But I think sadly, he gave folks the, ammunition to be able to tear him down.
Hello. Come on, nigga. Hello. Good evening.
Is Diddy concerned about his legacy, given everything that's come
Who's
out
that?
already, even if he's found not guilty?
That's a very good question, and honestly, I haven't asked him that. I'm gonna venture an answer. I think he views his legacy as being a fighter. I think he views his legacy as someone who's worked very, very hard to use his legacy as being a fighter. I think he.
You think she was at the Diddy parties? You think she would have went? I think she would have considered it.
Views his legacy as someone
That's
who's
just me,
worked
though.
very, very hard to get everything that he earned. And if he can work hard and earn a not guilty verdict in the eyes of 12 New Yorkers, I think that would be consistent with his legacy.
That was a lot of freak bull activity in one sitting. Alright, so that was the Diddy doc. If you want me to react to anything else, let me know. Hit the comments below and we'll get to it. See y'all later.